Hello everyone. I'm Zhifeng CHEN. I'm a founder of Antifusion. Today I want to talk about the problems when porting a Flash game to HTML5. First, I want to introduce my team, Antifusion. It is an independent game studio located in Guangzhou, China. We are just a small team. We also make Flash game. We publish game to congregate a lot of newgrounds, just like Kibo and Gilbert. And now we are trying to port some of our Flash game into HTML5 in order to reach more users, because there are very much similarity between for the Flash game and an HTML5 game, because Actionscript and JavaScript is quite similar, and the animation we have is quite easy to port it. So we just choose one of our game, the Footy Any. It is a physics puzzle game. First, we have developed a Flash version. Maybe I can show you. It is physics puzzle game. You can just, your task is to let the good apple run into this basket, and don't let the bad apple run into the basket. It is based on the Box2D physics engine. And you can also use some tools to help you through the levels. For example, you can drag it out and place it here, and rotate it, and place it everywhere you want it. So you can just use your imaginations to use different way to pass your level. Oops, okay. It's failed. Okay. So I have divided the whole porting process into two parts. The first part, we are porting this Flash game into a PC HTML5 game, let it running smoothly on the PC browsers. And then the next part we will bring into the mobile devices and let it run on the mobile browsers. To let it, we have to deal with some of the major problems in the mobile browsers. In the PC version, of course, we have to set up a development environment. We don't have too much IDE tools or anything others frameworks in just like Flash. We only limited tools. First, we have to choose a good browser, of course, because it is the running platform. I will recommend it, the Google Chrome, because it is the fastest, and it also have many developer tools such as CPU and memory profiling, and storage management. As you can see here, it is just like what we have. Sorry. Oh, get stuck. Just okay. This is the developer tools in the Google Chrome for debugging JavaScript, profiling JavaScript. You can start the CPU profiling to see which method take the most of the time, and you can use this timeline to profile the memory usage, and each time what time did it spend on each frame, and what events it has been fired. You also have some, it also has some useful tools to manage the HTML5 local storage, and web SQL database, and the index DB, such like this, or cookies to manage these data. We use logged in the HTML5 game. And another thing for the Google browser, the Google Chrome, is you can have a remote debugging feature. It's The remote debugging feature allow us to debug the HTML5 apps on the mobile browser and deliver the debugging message to the PC. So it's very useful for the developers. The second one, we get a browser ready, and we have to choose an IDE. Actually, I think there's no the best IDE for HTML5 right now, but I will recommend it two IDEs to try. The first one will be the Sublime Text. I think it's the lightest and the fastest. It's my favorite because I don't think I need too much coding features for the for JavaScript. For example, the code format style or the code auto-completion. I don't need it, so I tend to use this Sublime Text to make my development faster. The second one with Webstorm. The Webstorm has lots of useful built-in features, such as the integration with SVN or GitHub, and auto completions, templates. I think it's a useful tool for a team to develop HTML5 games or apps. So we have our development environment ready. We are beginning to convert the code from Actionscript to JavaScript. You know, in HTML5, actually, most of the logics use JavaScript. And Actionscript and JavaScript come from the ECMA script, so they are very similar. The first recommendations for the code conversion will be convert the codes manually, not to use auto conversion tools, because they are similar. It is not that hard to convert Actionscript code to JavaScript code, and it is an opportunity for you to look down into the code to have some more optimizations. And the second, I will recommend to do some trade-offs in the JavaScript for the performance. For example, the runtime checking and the emulated interface. You know, the JavaScript is a weak type language. You don't know this field or a variant is what kind of type is it unless you set it a value. So if you want to check it or not invalid, you have to do it in the runtime. It will harm your performance. Actually, I think I can just do it myself. For example, in a method, you know that this argument is a string. You can just remember that not to set it as an integer, for example. And also, I don't recommend it to use getter setter functions and object.define property for simple fields. For example, you can just only use it when it's really needed to. For example, you want a read-only field, or you have logic in the reading functions or the writing functions, then you can use it. Otherwise, for simple fields, I don't recommend it to use it, because I have tested. It will only have 1 to 7 the performance. We've got only 10% performance compared to the simple field. So actually, during the whole coding conversion process, we have to face a problem is that we don't have display lists. This is a basic functions in Flash games. But we can find simple frameworks such as ESO.js, or actually we can make a simple one using arrays to make the class the display object, sprites, and movie clips. And besides the display object, we don't have animation classes in the HTML5. But we can. It is just like we use Flash develop in the Flash game to animate display objects using Actionscript code. we can just using train and trainer JavaScript version to animate it, and also we can use a spreadsheet animator. There are third-party framework for the spreadsheet animator, but we have developed our own, because we are adding more features such as playing the animations with priority, and auto continue playing animations. You, you you just make your own, then you can add more features on it. So, and after all this, actually we have playable version on the PC browser. Then we can begin to run it on the mobile browsers to deal with the mobile browser problems. The first thing will be the canvas auto resizing. You know, in the browser, in the mobile browser, users can rotate their screen, and the screen will have different resolution ratio. So I can just because it has the different resolution ratio, you have to resize your whole canvas into different resolution. Our solution is that take the compare the width and height of the whole stage, and just get the max one. For example, this will be the max will be the width, and we will set the canvas width to the stage width, and scale it with a fixed ratio. And in this, we will also resize it. And of course, you have to listen to the events on resize events on the PC browsers, and on orientation change event on the mobile browsers to make this happen. And next, in the mobile, the major problem is the sound problem. Actually, we didn't find a very good way to deal with the sound. We test a lot. Actually, my recommendation is for the mobile browser compatibility, you have to use OGG and MP3 files, both for them, because for example, the Firefox support a OGG file but does not support MP3. The Chrome maybe support both, but IE does not. So you have to prepare two of them. And the sound problem we got on the mobile browser, actually the sound problem is not working properly. The sound is not working properly on the iOS right now, but on the Android system, the Chrome browser can simultaneously play one sound, but you can't play two sounds together. You will have a very high latency. But actually, they are improving. We are also working together with the Dolphin browser. They have a developer version of it, and they can work it very well. They can play multiple sounds simultaneously and with a very low latency. And the other thing may be the MIME setting on the iOS or Apache. You have to add the MIME type, because on iOS and Apache by default, it did not recognize the OGG and the MP3 file. You have to add the MIME type. And the last thing, Chrome has developed a web audio API, but actually this is not supported by many browsers, so we are not recommended to use it right now. So after this, finally we are going to improve our performance in the mobile browser. Actually, we have almost the same performance on PC with the Flash game. We can have running it very smoothly with 60 FPS, but on the mobile browser, iOS 5 system will be better, have maybe 30 FPS, but in Android browsers, for the Android Chrome, it's okay. But the other browsers, especially in China, too many browsers to work with, they have the performance is not very well for the canvas. So we have to improve the performance. The first one I will recommend is to use the off-screen canvas prerender. It means you can use multiple canvas in your game, and some of the canvas actually is not showing in the game. You can just pre-render the images in not showing canvas, and then use it when you are ready. For example, you can just save your splash images on this off-screen canvas and show it when it is ready. And the second one is to use lazy layers. It is also a canvas for the static backgrounds. For example, you have a canvas for the UI screen, and a canvas for your gameplay, and the last canvas for your static backgrounds. So you just render the thing you need on these layers. So you don't need to pre-render all the things together. So finally, we can just see how much we can get on the HTML5 right now. This is iOS Android browser. Actually, we can make it very smoothly in almost 30 FPS without any lagging. Oh, failed it. Yeah. We can. This is the dragging, rotating. Put more tools, run it. It's very smooth. Actually, I think we can do lots of HTML5 games using this technology to reach users, because I think there are many good Flash game developers such as Kibo and Gifter, and they can just put their game into the HTML5 game to improve this marketing. This is my presentation. Yeah, thank you for you guys. So, do you have any questions?
When you are facing these problems while converting from Flash to HTML5, were there any particular forums where you found that people were very helpful in giving feedback and ideas about how you can make certain problems go away?
For which problems, pardon?
When you're porting it to HTML5,
yeah.
You'd have been facing quite a few problems when you're doing it the first time, right?
Yeah.
So were there any support groups around, like developer forums where you could
actually not too many articles writing about how to port it, because each Flash game has their own development process. For example, someone use a Flash Builder, someone use a Flash Developer, someone use a Flash Professional. I think each game has a different porting process. Yeah. You have to try your own, and actually, when you do the basic things, it's not that hard.
Yeah. What is the current situation for your mobile version? Do you use the phone gap to distribute it, or how you distribute your mobile version?
Yeah, actually, on PC version, we have the release on Congregate also, and Chrome Web Store. They are hunting for the HTML5 game. In the mobile channel, we just talk about with the Spiel games, soft games. Yeah, there are also publishers are publishing HTML5 games right now. Mostly, we are earning from the ad revenue, and we are developing a new game with microtransactions on them.
So main revenue come from the ads.
Where they come?
Main revenue come from the ads.
The ads. Google AdSense.
Come from advertising. Your current main revenue.
You mean the ad revenue we have
Did your main revenue from this time all come from the advertising banner?
Yeah,
Something like
for the Footy Any, it is all come from advertising, and some of the Flash game, just like the Flash game, we do license for from the publishers also.
And for all publisher you mentioned, did they have their own platform or where they publish to?
Some of them have their own platform, and some of them have a community, and yeah, just drive users into the different games.
And how user come back to your game with this platform?
Just you use a link or an icon, just click into it, and you can just
is it okay?
Yeah.
Is it okay with just this?
Actually, I think the future will be better because just like in China, the WeChat, just like the WhatsApp and Line, you can just use this URL to distribute it. You can send it to a friend, and then they just click into it and play it. Yeah, it is. I think it is more easier to distribute it. Yeah.
Yeah, and last question. Did your main revenue still come from Congregate?
Right?
Did your main revenue still come from Congregate?
You mean delete the revenue come from
to compare the revenue from this mobile publisher with the Congregate? Congregate still had better,
actually,
right?
we published the HTML5 game on Congregate, but not too much revenue because you know the games on Congregate are very high quality.
Okay.
Even if you develop a Flash game, it's not that easy to make a high revenue on Congregate.
So you mean your mobile publisher do better?
Yeah, no, not too much competitor. Yeah, and one more thing is that we found it the CPM from Essence is higher than on the PC channel.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you.
Any more questions? One more question. The amount of time it takes to make the game in HTML5 versus the amount of time it takes to make in Flash?
The Flash version of this game we took about 1 month, and 1 month, and for the HTML5 the porting we took another 1 month. Yeah. But actually the for the spy sheet conversion and some of the basic things, it spent us 2 weeks. So you just make these basic things ready. You can just very easy to port your game from Flash to HTML5.
Thanks. All right. So Zhifeng also has Fruity Annie in the Indie Showcase. It's running on HTML5.
Yes. We also have other HTML5 games in the showcase. You can just check it. We have a new game, and I think it is better. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Zhifeng.
Thank you.
All right. The next